In a bit of very welcome news, we've learned that Tesla has partnered with Uber. Tesla will now make their new inventory vehicles available for Uber drivers to purchase on the Uber vehicle marketplace. Based on their driving histories, drivers can now get discounts up to $3,000 off a vehicle that is in addition to the $7,500 tax credit. So this benefits Tesla as it helps increase the sales before the end of the year, but it also benefits Uber. So today we've got Larry Goldberg joining us. He's a multi-entrepreneur and he does these deep dives on these topics. And so whenever this partnership happens, I want to get his opinion. Thank you so much, Larry.
Thanks, Herbert. Great to be here.
Let's take a look at the announcement that just came. This is a big deal. Tesla's partnered with Uber to make their new inventory vehicles available for drivers. If the Uber drivers decides to buy a Tesla vehicle that's in an inventory, and Uber's going to offer up to $3,000. And we don't know yet who is shouldering this. It could be a combination of Uber and Tesla, but this is a discount. So this page here actually is on an Uber website for drivers to visit. And they can see here that one of the partners Uber's partnered with is Tesla. And they're telling them you can get up to $3,000 when you buy a new Tesla. And so new and used cars. It's the cars that they have in inventory. So this is the article that was written by Fred Lambert. And so his history that he provided was in 2020, we all remember when Hertz made a big announcement that they're going to purchase 100,000 Tesla Model 3 vehicles. And then shortly after that, though, Hertz also announced that on top of those vehicles, the Hertz made a deal with Uber also, so that Uber can offer its drivers access to those Tesla vehicles. Now they say here that 50,000 Tesla vehicles have been made available for rent to Uber drivers. And then Uber also bought some vehicles directly from Tesla. Now what we're hearing is this new partnership directly between Tesla and Uber. And so it's a vehicle marketplace, and they've added Tesla there. They can discount on Model 3, Model Y. And it's this inventory vehicles. So they're, obviously the benefit to Tesla is if we can try to sell as many cars as we can before the end of December, which is literally 2 weeks from now, that's good news for us. We're trying to hit our 1.8 million number. And then the benefit to Uber is that one of the requirements is that the Uber drivers needs to have 100 trips by February in order to qualify for this. And so they're going to increase the number of trips that are being taken. So this is the perks, and that's on top of the $7,500 federal tax credit. So if you're an Uber driver, you can buy a vehicle now with $10,500 off from the price. So it makes the economics better. Now there's different kind of Uber drivers, blue and gold drivers, depending on your driver history. For those guys, you only get $1,000. Platinum drivers gets $2,000, and then diamond drivers get $3,000. Larry, what do you think? Is this a big deal, and do you like the deal?
Wow, if you can get, today a Model 3, there's $10,500. I mean, at today's prices, I think it's an incredible deal. When I order an Uber, I always go for the green guide. So I'm hoping to get a Tesla. Maybe I get a Tesla 1 in 3, 1 in 4 times. But it depends on what city. In Austin, very high probability of a Tesla because the number of Ubers that are Teslas are high. That's not so high, of course, in maybe New York City, but it's coming. So this is really I think it's a great way to go for Tesla and for Uber. It's possible that this is going to be a continuing opportunity for Uber drivers. But think about this. Think about that. This is ridding the robo-taxi fleet in a way, because there's no doubt in my mind that Hertz are going to be offering a robo-taxi fleet as soon as it's available. And who knows, they may be positioning themselves as partners with Tesla. They are positioning themselves as partners with Tesla for the robotaxi world. I've always held, by the way, that I didn't think Tesla needed to operate the robotaxi fleet. They need an operator to do that. It's a different skill set, doesn't really accord with the Tesla operations. So it's a great opportunity, and hopefully it will get us, a bump in sales in the US in the short term. So I think it's a win-win-win.
It's a win-win-win. It seems like a small deal, but what do you think of this idea, Larry? So, before we get to robo-taxi, which could take still several years, you've heard Elon and Tesla kind of tout that supervised driving is already 4 times safer than regular drivers. Supervised driving is when a human driver is driving with FSD, full self-driving, an autopilot turned on. It's safer. So could they, kind of transition to this process where you get as many people who are drivers, right? These ride-hail drivers use the Teslas and then do supervised driving and then be able to, start a business that way, right? To start
Absolutely
to learn.
right.
Yeah.
Absolutely right. Yeah. I mean, I think that what you've got is you've got the skeleton of a robotaxi operation just happens to be a supervised driver for that nonce, and then ultimately those drivers will become simply owners, and will just take care of the car, and spend their day, drinking daiquiris on the side of the pool. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, this is a model. This is a great model. Look, it's not going to be winner takes all robotaxi. It's going to be winner takes most.
Mm-hmm.
And most is going to be the winner who has the best operation globally. And you can do worse than hiring Hertz to do your operations at the outset. And you could do far worse than hiring Uber to do the operation. So it's a great partnership. Driver, Uber, Hertz, Tesla.
Sounds like from what you've just said, though, that you sound like Uber is a partner to Tesla. This sounds like a small thing. They're just selling cars, but you do believe that Tesla would actually do a full partnership with Uber as they head towards robotaxi versus you don't need Uber. You will replace Uber. You are going to be the ride-hail company.
Yeah, I'm not a buyer of that particular sale. I think that the operational needs of the robotaxi network are significant. I think you do need an operations center. I think you do need all the functionality of the Uber app. You need all the support of the Uber support network. I don't think it's operationally that easy to set up a robotaxi network. You only have to look at, Truro to see Truro's no Uber. And so I think that having an operational partner would be great, really great. And I think the little bit you give up and their share that you give up is really well earned, my view. And I know that it doesn't sit well with many Tesla people. I can see your face, but I think it's the way.
So I disagree with you here. Eventually Tesla is going to own the cars. They're not going to sell it. The revenue is going to be incredible, and
doesn't mean Uber can't operate their own Tesla car, the cars that Tesla own.
You mean there's going to be different models? There's going to be Tesla the Tesla's ride-hailing service. There's going to be the Tesla using Uber and Hertz and other companies that are going to manage this. And then there's even possibly direct to consumer. Consumers own it, they run it, they put it into the Tesla marketplace. That's what you're thinking?
Yeah, I personally would prefer Tesla not to run the Tesla marketplace. I'd rather they have Uber and Lyft and Hertz and others operate them and they own them. Right now, Hertz doesn't own their own cars. Hertz has a financial company that owns the cars. Hertz simply operates
the fleet management service, and we've heard Elon say that there is a need for fleet management service. So there will be, and whether it takes the form of Hertz or you decide to run a business and you manage to become a fleet manager for 50 cars, you can do it.
Yeah, but I can't
Uber,
compete with Hertz.
I just
I
don't see
can't
the Uber thing.
compete with Hertz.
Yeah.
I just can't. I mean, I can try and manage 50 cars, and Truro certainly have people who manage 10, 12 cars. Not many people make much money out of Truro. I would say my guess is 1 out of 10 operators do well out of Truro.
Yeah.
All the rest, it's
Understood. No,
so
I know. So that part I get, but it's just like Uber is a ride hailing app, and it's the place to go when you want to ride hail and get a car. Tesla wants to be that. It's going to be their app. And then they have different fleet managers like a Hertz. But why would you partner with Uber? For me, yeah.
I would partner
Sorry.
with Uber because they already own the market. It's a really simple solution.
We're
If you're going to come up against them,
disrupt.
it's going to be
Yep.
tough.
No. Okay. We'll see what happens. But yeah. But this is great. Partnership with Uber and Tesla, that's fantastic. It seems to be just a toe, right? Stepping into the ocean here, a little tiny bit, but it's a relationship nonetheless. And so
Yeah.
I've been saying, and I think we'll be correct, that 2024 is going to be the year of partnerships. We just, in the last 3 days, Best Western partnered. We heard BP partnered a month ago. We've got Uber partnering with Tesla. We had Hilton say that they partnered with Tesla like 2 months ago. 2024 is going to be just every week. There's going to be a big company partnering with Tesla. This is the game, and that's going to be fun to watch. Wonderful.
And Ford is going to partner with them.
You've been saying this, but you've been saying you're the number one person I know that's been saying, and you created a whole deep dive on all the different tier 0.5, you called it, of partnership between legacy OEMs and all the different things that these legacy OEMs and auto manufacturers could partner with Tesla. That's a big one. That's a big one, Larry. I hope that you get correct, and we'll have a big show one day. Says you were right. It happened. Thank you so much, Larry.
The better off they'll be.
Follow Larry on X at Tesla Larry. Thank you very much, Larry. Appreciate you guys. I've created a website that is the most comprehensive resource for the Tesla investor. Please check it out. Simply go to my website at herbertong.com.